All right, everybody, I've got a great core workout for you today. All you women over 50, I think you're gonna love this one. Anybody who wants to build core strength, improve their balance and their posture, this is for you. And for beginners out there, I will be giving options for you throughout, so you're fine to be here as well. If you haven't subscribed to our channel yet, make sure to hit that red subscribe button, click the bell so that you'll be notified anytime we post one of these awesome fitness and flexibility videos for folks over 50. All right, so we're gonna get started, and what I love about this workout is that it starts on the ground. We're gonna fire up our core muscles, our abs, our hips, our back, our booty, and get those going because they are all involved in our balance. So I'll talk you through, make your way down, and if you actually wanted to pause this video and go ahead and stand on one foot, and then obviously you're gonna do it on the other foot. Notice how long you can balance there before the other foot touches the ground, and how tippy you are. What does it feel like? And then you can always test that again at the end and see the difference. All right, so we're gonna begin on our backs today, and I always like to warm up a little bit. So important to warm up, especially as we get older. So we're just going to bring the knees towards the chest, place your hands on top of your knees, and begin to circle the knees in one direction. So I'm keeping my legs together. If I had marker tips on my knees, they would be drawing circles on the ceiling. And then we're just going to go the other way. You're probably noticing that this is rolling around your low back. It's going to give it a little massage. The knees are going away from you, off to the side, and then coming towards you and then off to the other side. Then we'll pause that in the middle, and now we're going to separate the knees, bring them towards the armpits, let them move away, and then bring them together. So towards the chest, towards the armpits, away and together. So it's just starting to mobilize our hips. Maybe get a little stretch through the inner thighs. And then we're going to reverse it. So the knees will go away, around and together. Easy shoulders on the mat. Nice smooth breathing pattern. We'll take one more of these. Before we bring it back together, we're going to lower our right foot to the ground and just reach the left leg to the ceiling. You can hold on to the back of the leg. And we're going to flex our foot and point our foot. And flex and point. We're going to take this 10 times. That was 3. 4. Now as you're doing this, really spread your toes. 5. This starts to work our shin and our calves, which are involved in our balance. So we want to get those guys ready to go. I believe this is 8. This is 9. And this is 10. I'll just put that down. Go to the other side and flex and point. You are trying to straighten your leg. You might feel a little bit of a hamstring stretch there, or stretch up the back of the leg. That's fine. You can maximize that if you want, but really we're working again the shin and the calf here. Those are the muscles that help flex the foot. And I've lost track of the count on this side. So let's do 2 more. And 1 more. And lower that foot down to the ground. Now, from here, we want to start to keep our back nice and flat on the floor. I'm going to give you a few options. Beginner option is you start with the feet flat, and we're going to be raising the knee up till it's right over the hip. You're going to still feel your abdominals have some engagement there, and you want to keep the low back on the floor the entire time and lower it down. So version 1 is picking the legs up like so. Version 2, you could do 2 legs together. Right? And that means that you're keeping this back on the ground the whole time. It's not going to arch and then push down. You want to push it down. This is exactly what we need to do when we balance. Version 3, and the version that I'm going to be coaching you through, is touching the toe taps, but with the legs up. So pick your starting version. We're going to anchor our back to the floor, and then we're just going to start with that right foot, touch the toe, and raise it up. And 2. And up. So I'm going to pull in on the ribs. 3. Keep that back flat. 4. We're not trying to bring our knee to our chest. So if you don't feel your abs working, you probably brought the knee in too close. 6. This is 7. This is 8. This is 9. Keeping that back nice and flat. This is 10. We bring the knees to the chest, give them a hug, lower the feet to the floor. We're going to push our feet down, tuck our tailbone under, right? So tip to your tailbone, feel your back arch away from the floor. This is what we want to move away from. And we're going to tuck our tailbone, push that back into the floor, squeeze your booty, and now we're going to drive our hips up into our bridge pose. This strengthens our booty. This strengthens our back. We can move our hands down and press with our palms. We're going to breathe here for 3, but you do want to be driving up your hips. For 2, not your ribs so much. And for 1, we're going to lower back down. This time we're going to place our right hand behind our head and put our left hand on the front of your ribs right where they split apart. We're going to take a nice inhale. Now as we exhale, we're going to push down on the front of those ribs like we're closing them together. And those are the muscles that sit us up. Notice I'm going to keep my elbow wide and my head can just rest in my hands. And then lowering down. And exhale, pull those ribs down and curl up and lowering down. Now you're seeing how high you can come up. Can you clear your shoulder blades off the floor? Over time you'll be able to. 2 more, breathing out, curling up. Breathing into lower and breathing out, curling up and breathing into lower. We switch to the other side. We're doing this so we can feel those ribs coming in. We're going to need that for the next few exercises. Ribs coming down. We might not want to be rounding our back as much, but we want to get that idea of compressing the ribs to start to use our abdominals. And 3. And inhaling, and 4, and breathing in once more, pressing those ribs down. You're going to feel your back pressing into the floor and lowering down. We release the hands. We're going to do another bridge. So bring those heels underneath your knees, so not feet way out in front. Bring those heels under your knees. Tuck your tailbone. So start to push that back. You're going to feel your belly engage. Squeeze your booty. And driving the hips up. So you really are working the whole core. Mid-thighs to the chest, all the way around the body. So again, not just our abs, but a lot of muscle groups here. 1 more breath, and then we reach the arms out, lower ourselves down to the mat. Float one knee, then the other to the chest. Now you can either roll to the side to sit up, or rock and roll, and come on up. And possibly balance on your booty without touching your feet. Now again, I'm going to give you options here. Version 1 of this next would be feet on the floor. Version 2 is that we're going to tuck our tailbone a little and lean back. And now we want to start to draw the ribs in just like we did and then raise the legs up. So version 1, feet down. Version 2, feet up. Version 3, hands come off, and this can have the legs straight or bent. So pick the version that will work for you today. I'll do the knees bent with the hands off, and we breathe here for 5. For 4, we're lifting our belly. For 3, we're pulling the ribs in and shoulders down. And exhale, we're going to lower that down. Bring yourself around into a tabletop position. Hands underneath the shoulders, knees under hips. If this bothers your wrists, you can always come up onto your fist so the wrist is long there. You have that option to you. We take a nice inhale and push down through the hands and the shins. Now as we exhale, we're going to start from our tailbone and tuck our tailbone under and round our low back, then our middle, then our upper, then let our head go. Now start from your tailbone. We're going to go the other way. Tailbone goes up, belly opens to the floor, and chest reaches forward. And we'll take that again. Start from your tailbone. Rotate the pelvis under, then it'll snake right up through the spine. And inhale, start with the tailbone going up. Keep the belly button lifted lightly so you haven't just collapsed like I'm doing now. You're pushing down and lifting. And take it again from the tailbone, rounding sequentially so this starts to open the hips. You might feel your middle working. And then inhale, tailbone goes up. Shoulders draw away from the ears. Chest reaches forward. We come back to neutral. We shift our rear end towards our heels. You can raise on the fingertips, come to child's pose, and just rock the hips side to side. Then we're going to come up to that tabletop position again, push down through the palms. And now we're going to do what we call bird dog. And I'm going to break this down into pieces. And I did a tutorial on this one called How to Get This #1 Core Exercise Right. So if you want a little more in depth, you can peek over at that one. We're going to start here. Now here's where we start to employ the stuff we did on our back. We're going to pull our ribs in lightly, not rounding, but pull them in, belly button to spine. Now we're going to lift up in our armpits like you're trying to squeeze an orange under your arm. And then you see if you can just take the right arm and reach it forward without anything else moving. We're going to hold there, and then we're going to lower that right arm down, and now we're going to do the other side. First, get yourself set. Draw the ribs in. We don't want the hips swinging around or the belly falling out or collapsing, but lifting tall. You're going to feel all those middle muscles working. And then we lower that one down. Now we're going to do it again. This time we're going to reach our right arm out to the right. So I'm lifting in the armpit, drawing my ribs in lightly, belly button to spine, and breathing while all that's happening and exhaling down. Now let's try the other side. Posting strong through both hands. Now your right arm's going to take a little more weight here. You're going to feel that right side of the ribs, the belly working here. Keep breathing. And lower the hand down. Part 2, right foot slides on back. Now here, we're going to firm up our thigh. Again, keep the belly button to the spine and pull the ribs in. Now as we raise the leg up, we don't want to let that all collapse down. So you're still lifting strong for 3, for 2, for 1, and we lower the knee. Now we're going to do the other side. Left leg slides back. Firm up your thigh to straighten it, then raise it up. Keep lifting in your belly, your ribs, and up in the armpits so you haven't let your head fall down. We're all the way supported. See how this will help with balance and posture? And then lower the leg down, shift the rear to the heels, raise on the fingertips or squeeze the hands into fists and open them. If your wrists need a break, and just take a little rock, and we're going to put it all together. So we come up to our tabletop. Now we slide our right leg back and raise it up, and our left arm comes forward, keeping all of our middle lifted and that left hip right over the knee. Don't let that left hip fly out to the left. Keep breathing here. And exhale, lower that down. Other side. Left leg back, right arm forward. All right, that leg doesn't need to be up high. We want to keep the hips like you could balance a cup of coffee on the back there. Keep lifting through your center and reaching, and exhale. Hand down, knee down, and rear end back to heels. Good work. Rock the hips a little side to side. Find your breathing pattern, and then inhale brings you back up. We're going to take one more in this same position. Now we're going to be working for the sides of the hips. And we'll reach our right knee out to the right. So we call that first one bird dog, and we call this one dog at the fire hydrant. Now here's what you want to watch out for. When your right knee goes right, you don't want your left hip to go left. Stabilize that hip. This is just like when you balance and you pick one foot up off the floor, you want to stay up strong. Reach the knee out as far as it will go, then lower it down. Take it again. Float the knee out. Keep that right hand pressing firm. There's going to be a lot of weight there, and lower. And once more, ribs in, belly in. Lift the knee to where you can and lower down. Now let's try the other side. Left knee out to the left. More weight will come in that left hand. And lower. And again, and it doesn't matter how high that leg comes, go to where you can without that shift sideways. And lower. Otherwise, we're just missing out on all the good stuff. And lower. We're going to flex the feet. Move to downward facing dog. Keep bringing that weight towards the front part of the hand. So in the fingers and the knuckles, under the knuckles, rather than the heel of the hand. And you can sway the hips here, breathing. Now we'll lift our toes up and see if we can firm up our legs. Then lower the toes, raise the heels up, push out to plank high push-up. Now you could do this on your knees here. If you're okay, then you go back to down dog. If you're on your knees, you can shift to down dog or child's pose. Lift your toes, firm up your thighs. This is going to get our shins ready here and our legs. Lower our toes, lift our heels, tuck your tailbone. Here we go again. Belly in, ribs in, lift in the armpits. Once more, we go back to down dog, or you're in child's pose. Lift the toes. Firm up the thighs. Keep on breathing here. Lower the toes, lift the heels. Squeeze your booty, plank or plank on your knees. Modified squeeze, lift your belly, lift your ribs. And then back to downward dog. And we walk our feet to our hands, feet halfway to hands, hands back to feet. Flip the backs of the hands to the floor. Bend your knees to touch your belly to your thighs. Then we'll take our hands to our thighs, lower our rear, bring our chest up, and push all the way to standing. Give those shoulders a little circle. Toe heel the feet till they come all the way together. Now, if that's tricky for you and you feel off balance, then keep them a little further apart. So the narrower we bring them, the more challenging the balance is going to be. We're going to push down through our feet, lift up on our thighs, squeeze our booty. So we want to try and press our pubic bone forward and up and our hips forward. And then sweep our arms out to the sides and up. Take a big stretch and reach a little bit to the left and to the right. Breathing here. Did you let go of your booty? Did you lose your hips? Did they start to stick back? Keep bringing them forwards. Open the arms out to the sides. Now you can hold on to a wall or a chair or a counter for this next piece, or you're just going to raise the heels up and lower them down. And we'll take that again. Heels raise up and lower them down. And heels raise up. Now we want to do all the things we were doing in our work on the floor. Squeeze the inner thighs, strong legs, squeeze the booty, lift the belly. That's right, so you're not bending the knees. And also look at my feet. We don't want the ankles to roll outside. We want to press those heels towards one another. 2 more to go. Keep the booty tight. 1 more, keep lifting. And lower down. Let the arms drop. Step the feet apart. Give the hips a little circle. All right, moving on. We're going to toe heel those feet back together again. From here, push down through the feet. Lift up on the thighs. So it's all in the setup, right? If we try and balance and we're all wonky, we're going to start to work muscles that don't need to work, and other muscles that should be working won't be working. So we want to get the muscles that are supposed to be working doing their job. Now from here, we lift up tall, the arms come to the sides, and then we're going to bring the leg forward. This is where, remember when the hips were going side in our groundwork? We want to squeeze that booty and get that hip right over its own heel there. And this leg can come forward and up as high as comfortable for you. Now we're going to touch the toes, barely touch like you're testing the water in a pool, and lift it up. I'll turn side so you can see it. Touch the toes and lift. And how high this is coming will depend on your ability, so you can just adjust it to work for you. This is 4, and lift, and 5, and lift. We'll bring knee to knee if you still have it. Squeeze your booty, drive those hips forward, and then lower that foot down. Let's do the other side. Firm up the thighs, arms float up, toes come forward, or you're raising the knee all the way up. You do the toe touches from the height that you can manage today. If you need to hold on to something, go ahead and do that. But what we really want to do here, guys, is firm up this thigh and booty. Right, the standing leg. I believe we have 1 more. And raise. Now, if you still have it, try and touch the knees together. Squeeze the booty, lift the pubic bone, and lower the foot down. Separate the feet. Swing the hips around. Good work. Balance takes a lot of concentration. So it can feel exhausting just from the concentration. It also brings in our focus, clears our mind because we can't think about anything else, so we fall over. All right, now from here, feet press together, arms float out to the sides. We shift onto that right foot again. Now our left leg's going to go straight out to the side, and we're going to hold there. Now watch out for these left toes going up. Point the toes forward, and you'll start to feel the sides of your rear end, right around your hip. And then lower down, and let's try the other side. Push the right heel out, Keep squeezing the booty so our booty didn't go backwards. Only bring the leg out as far as you can, keeping those hips right underneath and lowering down. And then last one, we're going to turn out our left foot. You can put the hands on the hips here. You can make a kickstand. You could do it at the ankle, or you could bring the foot up the leg to where it works for you. So it can be anywhere on the leg. I'm going to go about midstream today. Push the foot into the leg and the leg into the foot. Engage your rear end. Arms reach out. If you still have that, arms raise up. If you still have that, touch your fingertips together. If you still have that, you can change the focus to look up. And we breathe for 5, 4, 3, 2. We bring the arms out. We lift the knee. Bring it back together. Drop the arms. Other side. Hands to hips. Turn that right leg out. Make sure we didn't sit over. Ankle or higher on the leg, wherever you choose. It can be all the way up if you can manage that. It doesn't have to be though. And then we go arms to side. Second version, arms up. Third version, fingertips touch. Squeeze the rear end. Fourth version, change the focus. It's a tricky one. Breathing. Long breaths, nice tall. Here's your nice tall posture. Arms go out, lift the knee, lower the foot, sweep the hips, sweep them the other way. Take a nice inhale up, separate your feet out. Exhale, bend your knees, stick your rear back, clasp the hands to the opposite elbows. Take a nice rock side to side. You can bend one knee then the other, or just swing the torso. Release the arms, bend the knees, tuck your tailbone. Bring that pubic bone to the belly. You're going to feel that belly lifting now. Stacking the shoulders over the hips. Nice tall posture. Arms reach out. We exhale, let them drop. And you're all set for today. Core, balance, posture, toning. You got it all. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to give us a thumb up. If you have any questions, put them in the comments. We'd love to answer any questions that you have. And we'll catch you back here real soon. And if you enjoyed what we did here today, we have another video called Balance Basics that's structured similarly, where we do core work first, builds into balance, but with some other exercises, as well as the one I mentioned in the session, how to get this #1 core exercise right, where we break down that bird dog, we do all the regressions and some progressions. And if you're looking for something that's just more of a whole body quick stretch out, make sure to check out our free on-demand fitness and flexibility class that'll have you feeling better in 10 minutes flat. You can grab that at fitandflexibleforlife.com/class. I will leave the links to all of those below in the description.